lesson which is focused on some hints and recommendations for cyberbullying reality at schools or at the family. First of all, it's important to say that the cyberbullying is a social group disorder. If we want to eliminate it, we need to improve relations between pupils and educators. For example, to change school climate, but also relationship in the family. Blocking and banning cyberbullying doesn't solve, they are only preventive measures, or it can eliminate the consequences. There is no universal manual to remove cyberbullying easily and quickly. So maybe we can give you some recommendation how to deal with cyberbullying. First of all, keep calm. If you are in a situation where you are cyberbullied or bullied, keep calm, don't panic, don't call the police, and keep the evidence. It's very important to have recordings, snapshots, images, text, everything what you have from the process of cyberbullying. The next rule is terminate communication with the offender. Block offenders and block the content they are spreading, and try to prevent the attacker from accessing the account or phone number of the victim. If it doesn't endanger the victim, try to identify the offender. Offender has some friends, has contacts, so you can contact his friends and try to investigate who is his real identity. Another point or rule: report the attack. Report it to adult, report it to teacher, to parent, and they can help you with some strategy how to deal with cyberbullying, what to do, who contact. So it's better if the adults are involved in the process of solving of this problem. Don't be afraid to seek help from specialists. There are a lot of organizations across the Europe. There are helplines, special lines of police. So don't be afraid to contact a specialist and counselor, and you can also contact the police. And if the cyberbullying was solving in a school, so ask for the final verdict. It's necessary if the situation is dealt with by the school. The victim needs to know what's happened, how is it with attacker, if there are some restrictions, or we need to final verdict to close the incident, close the cyberbullying. Yeah. If we can recommend you more, so we have some recommendation for preventing of cyberbullying on a school level. First of all, it's necessary to incorporate rules about using own electrical appliances, IT, internet, mobile touch devices, recording devices in the internal school policy and the school rules. We have a lot of strategy documents at the school, and one of the documents there are rules what can you do at school and what you can't do at school, and what is denied. And it's necessary for school to have some strategy if, for example, mobile phones are allowed at school or they are denied. So try to incorporate these rules into special documents of schools. The next one: inform pupils about the netiquette. There are primarily ethical rules for communication on internet. Install and use software to allow teachers to monitor pupil activity on school computers. There are a lot of software which can be used for monitoring of activities, but it's important. Do not abuse the system. It's just a safety and security system, but do not abuse the system. and do not stalk students, and it's not for some stalking, but just for preventing if there are some problems at the network of school. So we need to know what's happened, and what's happened on the special computers, for example, at the school, at the classroom. Another rule, block student access to inappropriate online content. It's a very important rule. If you have little or small or young children at school, you need to prepare some child profiles or a strategy for searching on internet. There are a lot of technologies, for example on Google, on YouTube, where are just children profiles, and the child couldn't find the content, for example sexual content, pornography, extremism, and other types of content. So it's necessary to have it implemented in a school system. The next rule or hint, be a model of appropriate use of modern technology. If you hate technology, and if you don't want to use nothing, mobile phone, computer, laptop, nothing, it's not good for communication with children which live in the world of technologies. They from the birth they are communicate on internet, they are using mobile phones. It's a normal day for children or students to communicate with using of IT, and it's important for teacher to demonstrate how to use technologies for positive actions, for positive activities, positive lessons, positive education. Next rule could be work on pupils' awareness of risky behavior on the internet. It's important to have preventive actions, educational actions, lessons from police and NGO and other organizations which are focusing on prevention of risky behavior. So don't forget to have these lessons at school, and don't forget to have some preventive strategies at school focused on education of pupils in this topic. Incorporate topics related to risky behavior on the internet into classes. So it's a similar rule. It's important to educate about risky behavior on the internet and promote positive use of technology. For us, it's very important the rule be a model of appropriate use of modern technology, because you are communicating with people which live in a world of technologies, and it's normal for them to use everything what internet could use for. And there is a question or a hint how to minimize risk of cyberbullying. It's some complex process. So if you are at school and you are educator, you are director or principal, you need to prepare some we can say groups of solving, or groups of activities which are focusing on minimizing of risk. First, create problem-solving conditions. So every school need a preventive strategy, school preventive program, and a crash cyberbullying plan for pupils and teachers. Where are solution procedures, reporting procedures. So we need to make this system at school. If there is an incident, if there is a problem with a child or student, we need to have some process how to solve the problem as soon as possible. The next point, create and publish a network of partners on the school website. You are not alone. If you are at a school, you can communicate with many regional institutions which are focusing on work with children, on psychology, on pedagogy. There are, for example, pedagogical and psychological counseling centers, NGOs, crisis centers, special pedagogical centers, centers of educational care, and many other subjects which you can cooperate. So prepare a network where you can look for help if you will have a problem at the school. Next point, provide the education of members of the pedagogical staff by experts in the field of psychology, law, support the personality, social teachers, training of teachers, and other educational activities for teachers. It's important to know how to, for example, solve the problem, how to communicate with child, how to communicate with parents, what to do if, for example, there is some sharing of illegal content, sharing of sexual content, how can we block it, how can we report it, what can we do. So it's very important for teachers to educate and educate about this phenomenon at school. Very important point is point D. Ensure support of the school management in addressing the situation. It's necessary to have support of director, of principal, of school management if you want to improve situation, if you want to improve school climate. So it's very important to have it at that school. The support is necessary. Another point. Immediately address all disciplinary problems or other forms of unacceptable behavior towards the teacher. The rule is zero tolerance to inappropriate behavior of pupils. A lot of teachers are ignoring the problem, and they don't want to solve it. They don't know how to do, but they don't want to solve it. And I have to say it's necessary to have zero tolerance, and every incident could be solved, could be reported with a teacher, with a parent, with a child. So don't do ignoring. Try to solve everything what is illegal, what is risky, and cyberbullying is one of the phenomenon which we couldn't ignore. And the last one, ensure implementation of preventive programs for pupils. It's normal because you have some strategy, and it's very important to really do it at practice. Yeah, so it's important to work as a team. We need to communicate across all teachers, with parents, with the child. So teamwork is necessary to improve this condition.